our social media viewers. But before we start today's activity, let's invoke the blessing of God through a prayer. Let's all stand.
Heavenly Father, as we gather today for our procurement activity, allow us to glorify you and give you thanks for the gift of life and wisdom. Thank you for allowing our partners in the construction industry to participate in this activity and giving us the opportunity to work with them. Send your Holy Spirit to guide us as we go on with this activity, removing all doubts and malice as we proceed to work for an orderly and successful procurement activity. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
For today's activity, private conference for civil work projects with contract ID numbers 24BK0042, Convergence and Special Support Program, construction improvement of access roads leading to declared tourism destinations, tourism road infrastructure program, access road leading to Ganano Falls, Diffun, Quirino, 24BK0043, BIP, access road and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public building facilities, concreting of road down Mariano, Perez, Diffun, Quirino, 24BK0044, BIP, access road and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, concreting of road, Ricarte Sur, Diffun, Quirino, 24BK0045, BIP, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, concreting of road Isidro, Paredes, Diffun, Quirino, 24BK0046, BIP, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, concreting of road Divisoria Norte, Mandela, Quirino, 24BK0047, Convergence and Special Support Program, construction improvement of access roads leading to trades, industries, and economic zones, roads leveraging linkages for industry and trade infrastructure program, Roll It, Maldanum, San Bernabe Road, connecting feeds processing, and Chagi Jones, Mandela Road, and Cordon Aurora Road in support of the agribusiness, food and resource-based processing, Mandela, Quirino. And 24BK0048, BIP, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of Provincial Director's Quarters, San Leonardo, Aglipay, Quirino. And before we proceed, may we know if we have a quorum, Madam Secretariat?
Good morning, Ms. Vice Chairwoman, members of the BAC, TWG members, observers, social media viewers, and others joining this meeting via Zoom. For today's private conference, we have with us the following. From the BAC members, Eileen Domingo, Ferdinand Jingo Eating, Alan Camello, Ruben Aldana, Maylite Eliazar. From the TWG, Richelle Ann Eugenio, Madonna Bagabay, Alexander Joaquin, and Junlin Balbas. From the BAC Secretariat, Brenda Carbonell, Eva Lablin Grospe, Ray Agustin, and Larry Ramel. For the record, Ms. Vice Chairwoman, we have a quorum. And for today's private conference, we have also invited our resident auditor, and he is here with us today, Mr. Pedro Mabun Jr. Also, representatives coming from the Philippine Constructors Association of the Philippines and from the Automobile Association of the Philippines. However, none of them attended. For our contractors, sorry to say that we don't have. That's all, Ms. Vice Chairwoman. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's now proceed to the provisions of RA 9184, and the technical aspects of the projects will be discussed by Engineer Joel Tindungan.
Good morning once again. Today is February 2, 2024, and we are here to conduct pre-bid conference to discuss pertinent details for the procurement of 7 infrastructure projects funded under FY 2024. First project is Convergence and Special Support Program Construction Improvement of Access Roads leading to declared destinations, access roads leading to Ganano Falls, Diffun, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0042, Scope of Works Construction of Concrete Road, approved budget for the contract 14,700,000 pesos, contract duration 177 calendar days, cost of bidding documents 25,000 pesos, pick up license category CND, size range small b. Second project is Basic Infrastructure Program, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings facilities, concreting off-road Don Mariano Perez, Diffun, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0043, scope of works, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos, contract duration 55 calendar days, cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos, pick-up license category CND, size range small b. Third project is Basic Infrastructure Program, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings facilities, concreting of road Ricarte Sur, Diffun, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0044, scope of works, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos, contract duration 55 calendar days, cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos, pick-up license category CND, size range small b. Fourth project is Basic Infrastructure Program, access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings facilities, concreting of road Isidro Paredes, Diffun, Quirino, contract ID 24BK0045, scope of works, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos, contract duration 55 calendar days, cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos, pick-up license category CND, size range small b. Next project is Basic Infrastructure Program, access roads and bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, concreting of road Divisoria Norte, Mandela, Quirino, contract ID 24BK0046, scope of works, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract 4,950,000 pesos, contract duration 55 calendar days, cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos, pick-up license category CND, size range small b. Next project is Convergence and Special Support Program, construction improvement of access roads leading to trades, industries, and economic zones, roads leveraging linkages for industry and trade infrastructure program, Roll It, Maldanum San Bernabe Road, connecting feeds processing, Corn Casaba, and Itiaga Jones Mandela Road, and Gordon Aurora Road in support of the agribusiness, food and resource-based processing, Mandela, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0047, scope of works, construction of concrete road, approved budget for the contract 9,800,000 pesos, contract duration 106 calendar days, cost of bidding documents 10,000 pesos, pick-up license category CND, size range small b. Last project is Basic Infrastructure Program, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction completion of Provincial Director's Quarter, San Leonardo, Aglipay, Quirino. Contract ID 24BK0048, scope of works, construction, completion of multipurpose building, approved budget for the contract 1,980,000 pesos, contract duration 79 calendar days, cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos, pick-up license category CND, size range small b. This private conference is to discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial component of the contract to be bid. including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. It is conducted not earlier than 7 calendar days from the posting of invitation to bid and at least 12 calendar days before the deadline of submission of bids. A supplemental or bid bulletin is issued to answer questions or requests for clarifications or interpretation, and upon BAC's initiative to clarify or modify any provisions of the bidding documents. It is posted in the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites and at our bulletin board at least 7 calendar days before the deadline of bid submission. It is the duty of the prospective bidders to always check the websites for any issued bulletins. In the receipt and opening of bids, bids submitted should be on the date, time, and either at its physical address or through online submission specified in the advertisement through a single stage two envelope system. Bid should be valid for a period not exceeding 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. The first envelope must contain the eligibility requirements and the technical component, and the second envelope must contain the financial component. In the sealing and marking of bids, enclose the original eligibility and technical documents in one sealed envelope marked original technical component, and the other original financial component in another sealed envelope marked original financial component. Same will be done with the copies, copy number 1 and copy number 2. Seal both in an outer envelope marked original bid. The original technical and financial envelopes and the copy envelope shall be contained in one main envelope. The original and copies shall be typed or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. All envelopes shall have the required information, the name of the contract to be bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient or the procuring entity, and a warning, do not open before the specified time and date. Same will be done with electronically submitted bids. Bids must be encrypted and password protected. The electronic submission and receipt of bids is governed by GPPB Resolution Number 9, Series of 2020. It uses a two-factor security procedure consisting of an archive format compression and password protection to ensure the security, integrity, and confidentiality of the bids submitted. It allows to a password-protected bidding documents on opening date and time. The password for accessing the file will be disclosed by the bidder only during the actual opening, which may be done in person or face-to-face through video conferencing, webcasting, or similar technology. It is capable of generating an audit trail of transactions to ensure the security, integrity, and authenticity of bid submissions. In the sealing and marking of bids, unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes will be rejected, while improperly sealed and marked bid envelopes will be accepted. Same will be done for electronically submitted bids, not compressed and password protected will be rejected, while improperly compressed and password protected will be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC shall assume no responsibility for the misplacement of the contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or for its premature opening. Bids submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted. For bids submitted electronically, the BAC Secretariat shall generate a bid receipt page for the official time of submission, which can be saved or printed by the bidder upon receipt of the first and the second envelope. All bids may be modified before the deadline of submission of bids. A letter of withdrawal must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. A withdrawing bidder is not allowed to submit another bid. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and the expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. In case the submitted bids cannot be opened as scheduled due to justifiable reasons, the BAC shall take custody of the said bids and reschedule the opening on the next working day or at the soonest possible time through the issuance of a notice of postponement to be posted in the PhilJEPS website and at the DPWH website. In the opening and preliminary examination of bids, The BAC shall open the bids in public immediately after the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. In the opening of the first envelope, checking the presence or absence of the submitted documents against a checklist of required documents using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion. In the opening of the second envelopes, only second envelopes of bidders whose first envelope was rated pass will be opened. Bids with missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient and/or bid price exceeding the ABC shall be rated failed. The same will be applied for an electronic copy that cannot be opened or is corrupted shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. Only bidders whose both first and second envelopes were rated pass will be ranked. In the opening and evaluation of the first envelope, it must contain the eligibility requirements such as the legal, financial, and technical, its bid security, the technical specifications, and the omnibus sign-off statement. For the Class A documents under legal, must be the PhilJEP Certificate of Registration certificate from SEC, DTI, or CDA, mayor or business permit, and the tax clearance. For the technical, the statement of all ongoing contracts and the statement of single largest completed contract. And for the financial, the net financial contracting capacity, or its committed line of credit, and the audited financial statement is stamp received by the BIR. Under the Class B document is a valid pickup license or special pickup license for JV, and a registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and the opening of bids. For the PhilJEP Certificate of Registration and Membership, all bidders shall upload and maintain and PhilJEP's current and updated file of the following Class A eligibility documents under Section 23.1A and 24.1A, such as the registration certificate, the mayor or the business permit, the tax clearance, pickup license and registration, and the audited financial statement. For the business or the mayor's permit, a recently expired business or mayor's permit shall be accepted together with the official receipt as proof that the bidder has applied for renewal within the period prescribed by the concerned LGU. However, the renewed permit shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184. For the tax clearance, submission of BIR receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement, since substitution is not allowed under Section 34.2 of the IRR of RA 9184. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BRR for bidding purposes is not acceptable form of tax clearance, per GPPB Resolution Number 1, Series of 2014. For the single largest calculated contract, the SLCC completed shall be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. The SLCC value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid upon adjustment to current prices using the PSA Consumer Price Indices. Contractors under small a and small b categories without similar experience on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to bid is not more than the allowable range of contract costs of their registration. For the statement of all ongoing contracts, statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. For the pickup license, temporary pickup license shall not be accepted as an eligibility or documentary requirement in lieu of a valid pickup license. For the audited financial statement showing, among others, the bidder's total and current assets and liabilities stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. For the net financial contracting capacity, then FCC value should be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. It is computed as the current assets minus the current liabilities multiplied by the factor K minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. The constant factor K is set at 15 regardless of contract contracturation. For the eligibility requirements under Class B is the requirement for the joint ventures. A valid pickup license or special pickup license for JV and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and receipt of bid. All co-venturers shall submit their legal documents, while any of the co-venturers shall submit technical and financial documents. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit the PhilJEP certificate of registration in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 IRR of RA 9184. For the bid security, bidders must submit bid security to guarantee that the successful bidder shall within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the notice of award enter into contract with the procuring entity and furnish the performance security required. Only one form of bid security among the allowed forms is required to be submitted by the participating bidders. May it be cash or cashier's check, bank guarantee, draft or irrevocable letter of credit, or a surety bond callable upon demand, accompanied by certification from the Insurance Commission, or the bid securing declaration. For the project requirements, it must contain the following: the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, the list of contractors' personnel, such as the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and the foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data, and the list of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project. For the revised Omnibus Thorny Statement Form, Statement Number 3 was revised and the addition of Statement Number 10, which states that in case advance payment was made or given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligations and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient ground to constitute criminal liability for swindling or the commission of fraud with unfaithfulness or abuse of confidence through misappropriating or converting any payment received by a person or entity under an obligation involving the duty to deliver certain goods or services to the prejudice of the public and the government of the Philippines pursuant to Article 315 of Act Number 3815, Series of 1930 as amended, or the revised Penal Code. For the contents of the second envelope, first is the financial bid form, including bid prices and bill of quantities, as well as applicable price schedules and other documents required in the bidding documents. In the detailed evaluation of bids, its purpose is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids and ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. An undiscretionary criterion shall be used, which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. Results shall be contained in the abstract of bids as calculated. Placing no price is considered as non-responsive, while specifying a zero or dash means it is offered for free. And in case of discrepancies, bid price in figures versus bid price in words shall prevail. The total price per item versus unit price for the item multiplied by its quantity, the latter shall prevail. The stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Unit cost and the detailed estimate versus unit cost and the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. No contact rule, which means prohibition on communication with bidders from bid evaluation until award of the contract. In the conduct of post-qualification, its purpose is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies with and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents to be declared the lowest calculated and responsive bid. A non-discretionary pass or fail criterion shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. For the award of the contract shall be awarded to the bidder with the lowest calculated responsive bid at its submitted price or total calculated bid price, whichever is lower. The BAC shall notify all other bidders of its recommendation to hope of award of contract to LCRB within 3 calendar days from the issuance of the resolution recommending award. The hope shall have at most 15 calendar days to decide whether or not to approve or disapprove said recommendation. Interested bidders may obtain further information from the Procurement Unit, DPWH-QDEO District Engineering Office, and inspect the bidding documents during weekdays till February 16, 2024. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from our office upon payment of an applicable fee. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH website. For the deadline of submission of bids for projects 24BK0042 to 46 on February 14, 2024, not later than 10 a.m. And for projects 24BK0047 to 48 on February 16, 2024, not later than 10 a.m. Number of bid proposals to be submitted, 1 original and 2 duplicate copies. For the place of submission of bids for manual submission at Procurement Unit, DPWH, Quirino District Engineering Office, Cabarugis, Quirino, and for electronic submission at electronicbids_Quirino at dpwh.gov.ph. For further information, please refer to Brenda B. Carbonell, Procurement Engineer, or email us at carbonell.brenda@dpwh.gov.ph. Thank you.
Okay, for our first project, the 42 biggest 0042 Convergence and Special Support Program. Trip access road leading to Ganano Falls, Diffun, Quirino, with a length of 376 meters, 177 calendar days. Photos taken at the site, the beginning of the project, and end of the project. For the items and quantities involved, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 5.9 months. Part B, project billboard signboard for each. Occupational safety and health program, lump sum. Material includes safety helmet, safety shoes, safety vest, working gloves, face mask, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. Traffic management, lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For traffic management, materials to be used are retroreflective. For Part C, removal of actual structure, obstruction, 0.20 meter thick PCCP, under enforced, 1,564 square meter, and surplus common excavation, 1,798 cubic meter, surplus rock excavation, hard, 49 cubic meter, structure excavation, common soil, 570.04 cubic meter, foundation fill, 68.59 square meter, cubic meter, pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, 40.75 cubic meter, embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 284 cubic meter, and subgrade preparation of common material, 2,383.96 square meter. For Part D, aggregate subbase core, 687 cubic meter, And for Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced 0.15 thick at 14 days, 1,164.7 square meter. And for 311, 1E1, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced 0.28 meters thick at 14 days, 2,650.90 square meter. For Part F, for reinforcing steel, grade 40, 28,466.32 kilograms. Portland cement concrete pavement under item 405, structural concrete, 371.65 cubic meter. For Part G, pipe culvert 610 diameter, class 4 RCPC, 2 linear meter, and pipe culverts of 910 diameter, class 4 RCPC, 9 linear meter. For line canal, 300 by 300 rectangular concrete, 347 linear meter, and catch basin of 910 diameter, 1 each. And grouted riprap class A, 69 cubic meter. For Part H, metal guardrail, metal beam including post, double W beam, 274.32 linear meter. Metal beam and piece, fishtail, 20 each. Reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white, 87 square meter. And for yellow, 45 square meter. Yun lang po mga items involved natin sa Ganano Falls.
Any question from our prospective bidders? If none, then let's proceed to the next project.
Our next project, 24BK0043, BIP. For concreting off-road Don Mariano Perez, Diffun, Quirino. Duration of 55 calendar days. Photos taken at the site, the beginning of the project, and end of the project. For the quantities and items involved, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 1.83 months. Part B, project billboard signboard, 4 each. Occupational safety and health program, lump sum. Material includes safety helmet, safety shoes, safety vest, working gloves, face mask, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. For traffic management, lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For Part C, surplus common excavation, 3,206 cubic meter. Surplus rock excavation, hard, 18 cubic meter. And pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, 83.69 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 46 cubic meter. And subgrade preparation, common material, 3,157.72 square meter. For Part D, aggregate sub-base course, 656 cubic meter. Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced, 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 2,070 square meter. Part G, pipe culverts, 910 diameter, class 4 RCBC, 32 linear meter, and zone masonry of 60 cubic meter. Yun lang po ang items involved natin sa Don Mariano Perez.
Any question? If there's none, then let's proceed to the next project.
Our next project, 24BK0044, also a BIP, concreting off-road Ricarte Sur, Diffun, Quirino. With a length of 500 meters, 55 calendar days. Photos taken at the site, the beginning of the project, and end of the project. For the items and quantities involved, for Part A, provision of progress photograph, 1.83 months. Part B, project billboard signboard, 4 each. Occupational safety and health programs, lump sum. Material includes safety helmet, safety shoes, safety vest, working gloves, face mask, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. Traffic management, lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For Part C, surplus common excavation, 749 cubic meter. Pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, 50.74 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 56 cubic meter. And subgrade preparation of common material, 3,655 square meter. For Part D, aggregate subbase course, 711 cubic meter. Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement under enforce of 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 2,500 square meter. Part G, pipe culverts of 910 diameter, class for RCBC, 20 linear meter, and stone masonry of 141 cubic meter. Ito lang po ang mga items involved natin sa Ricarte Sur.
Any question? If there's none, then let's proceed to the next project.
Our next project, 24BK0045, also a BIP, concreting off-road Isidro Paredes, Diffun, Quirino, with a length of 540.5 meters, 55 calendar days. Photos taken at the site, the beginning of the project, and end of the project. For the items and quantities involved, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 1.83 months. Part B, project billboard signboard for each. Occupational safety and health program, lump sum. Traffic management, lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For traffic management, materials to be used are retroreflectives. Part C, surplus common excavation, 149 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 48 cubic meter. And subgrade preparation, common material, 3,956.83 square meter. Part D, aggregate subbase course, 731 cubic meter. Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement under enforced, 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 2,702.5 square meter. Part G, a stone masonry of 144 cubic meter. Yan lang po ang items natin sa San Isidro Paredes.
Are there any question? If none, then let's proceed to the next project.
For our next project, 24BK0046, also a BIP, concreting off-road Divisoria Norte, Mandela, Quirino, with a length of 547 meters. Photos taken at the site, the beginning of the project, and end of the project. For the quantities and items involved, for Part A, provision of progress photographs, 1.83 months. Part B, project billboard signboard for each. Occupational safety and health program, lump sum. Part material includes safety helmet, safety shoes, safety vest, working gloves, face mask, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. Traffic management, lump sum. Mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For Part C, surplus common excavation, 171 cubic meter. Pipe culverts and drain excavation, common soil, 22.85 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 109 cubic meter. And subgrade preparation, common material, 4,134.44 square meter. For Part D, aggregate subbase course, 731 cubic meter. Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement, under enforced, 0.23 meters thick at 14 days, 2,735 square meter. Part G, pipe culverts of 610 diameter. 6 linear meter, and 910 of 8 linear meter, and stone masonry of 144 cubic meter. Yun lang po ang items involved natin sa project.
Any question? If there's none, then let's proceed to the next project.
Our next project, 24 Biggest 0047. Also a CSSP project, DTI Roads, Maldanom, San Bernabe Road. With a total length of 365.2 meters, 106 calendar days. For photos taken at the site, beginning of the project and end of the project. For items and quantities involved, for part A, provision of progress photographs, 3.53 months. Part B, project billboard signboard for each. Occupational safety and health programs, lump sum. Materials includes safety helmets, safety shoes, safety vests, working gloves, face masks, rubber boots, eye goggles, and raincoats. For traffic management, lump sum. Demobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For traffic management, materials to be used are retro-reflective. For part C, surplus common excavation, 1,197 cubic meter. Structure excavation, common soil, 361.23 cubic meter. Foundation fill of 34.35 cubic meter. Embankment from roadway, structure excavation, common soil, 589 cubic meter. Subgrade preparation, common material, 2,539.72 square meter. Part D, aggregate sub-base course, 946 cubic meter. Part E, Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced, 0.15 meters thick at 14 days, 1,095.60 square meter. And Portland cement concrete pavement, unreinforced, 0.28 meters thick at 14 days, 2,557.7 square meter. Part F, reinforcing steel grade 40, 15,431.31 kilogram, and the structural concrete 20.68 MPa, class A at 28 days, 205.27 cubic meter. Para po ito sa concrete retaining wall. Part G, pipe culverts 910 diameter, class 4 RCPC, 64 linear meter. Line canal 300 by 300 rectangular, 103 linear meter, and a catch basin of 910, 5 each. For part H, metal guardrail, metal beam including post, double W beam, 167.64 linear meter, metal beam end piece, fishtail, 24 each, and reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings white, 84 square meter, and for yellow, 50 square meters. Yun lang po mga items involved natin sa Maldanom.
Any question from the prospective bidders? If none, then let's proceed to the last project.
Our last project, 24 Biggest 0048, also a BIP. Building construction, completion of Provincial Directors Quarter, San Leonardo, Glipay, Quirino. Interior designs of the project. For the items and quantities involved, for part 1, provision of progress photographs, 2.63 months. Part 2, permits and clearances, lump sum. It includes zoning fee, fire clearance, professional electrical engineer, sign and seal, load registration, and other electric co-op fees. And project billboard signboard, 2 each. Occupational safety and health, lump sum. Material includes safety helmet, safety shoes, safety gloves, safety vests, raincoats, dust masks, eye goggles, eye mask, body harness and lanyard, PPE signages, 4 by 8 feet, and safety first, 4 by 4 feet, and warning signs of 2 by 3 feet. For mobilization, demobilization, lump sum. For part 3, part A, earthworks, removal of structure and obstruction, lump sum, structure excavation, common soil, 8.67 cubic meter, embankment from roadway structure excavation, 6.01 cubic meter, and a grabber fill, 7.93 cubic meter. First, plain and reinforces concrete works, structural concrete, 3000 psi, class A, 28 days, 9.66 cubic meter. Reinforcing steel, deformed grade 40, 475.34 kilogram. Formworks and falseworks, 3.7 square meter. And for part C, finishing and other civil works, soil poisoning, 3 liters. Sewer line works, lump sum. Plumbing fixtures, lump sum. Cold water lines, lump sum. For ceiling of 4.5 mm metal frame, fiber cement board, 156.98 square meter. For wall, 1 lump sum. Flash door, 3.78 square meter. Aluminum frame glass door, sliding type, 4.68 square meter. Aluminum glass window, sliding type, 6.75 square meter. Aluminum glass window, owning type, 1.08 square meter. And aluminum glass window, fixed type, 3.15 square meter. Door, wood panel, 10.29 square meter. Glaze tiles and trims, 107.1 square meter. Unglazed tiles, 15.54 square meter. Cement plaster finish, 235.7 square meter. Painting works, masonry, concrete, 392.68 square meter. CHB non-load bearing including reinforcing steel, 100 mm, 133.92 square meter. Conduits, boxes and fittings, conduit work, conduit rough in, 1 lump sum. Wires and wiring devices, lump sum. Panel board with main and branch breakers, lump sum. Lighting fixtures and lamps, lump sum. Air conditioning, package, split type, lump sum. Yun lang po mga items involved natin sa project.
Thank you, Engineer Tindungan. Any announcement from the back secretariat?
For the information of everyone, our next procurement schedule will be on February 14. Opening of bids for 5 civil works, and on February 16, opening of bids for 2 civil works, both at 10 a.m. That's all, Ms. Vice Chairwoman. Thank you.
Thank you. Today's activity is now adjourned.